like Aries Spears. Because here's the thing, right? The whole thing about having your own business and reaching a certain level of success is you get to decide who you want to work with. You get to decide how you want to spend time with the type of people that are respectful.
Facts.
They can have regular business conversations with you. And not people like this.
VladTV just went off on Aries Spears, declared war on Aries Spears, and exposed Aries Spears' disgusting behavior.
I don't know if y'all saw this, but we reacted to this yesterday, and we didn't want to go through the whole thing because Vlad could be a little bit funny about, you know, copyright and stuff like that. But we did review the first little portion of it, and it seemed as if there was still an avenue for Aries Spears and Vlad to still create content together. But apparently, judging from what Flacco was saying, that's no longer a thing.
This beef with Aries Spears and Vlad started when Aries Spears very stupidly did a podcast where he's airing out private conversations between him and Vlad, making the same mistake that Boosie made. So Aries Spears is very well aware that Vlad kind of turned on Boosie when Boosie went public and revealed that, you know, that him and Vlad is not working anymore due to money issues. And Aries Spears turned around and does the exact same thing to Vlad. And Vlad didn't like this at all.
People have said, yo, the most popular guest that Vlad has on, Lord Jamar, Tony Yayo, Godfrey, Boosie, and Aries. I'm the only one left. Godfrey stopped because of the beef with Farrakhan, as did Lord Jamar. Tony Yayo just doesn't do it anymore. And Boosie wanted a raise. Come to find out, Boosie wanted $35,000 an episode. Wow. He was getting $25,000.
Wow.
So I don't get nowhere near that. And, you know, obviously it's based on the numbers. Because a lot.
That's why the boss never says how much everybody's getting paid, and they ask you not to discuss it with any of your coworkers. Please keep your salary confidential.
Boosie's clips are in the millions. Now, again, I've had a few clips in the millions, but a lot of my stuff, the full interview, probably ranges around $300,000 to $500,000.
Vlad styled on him. He was like, I made you. You was struggling. You was in the street. I mean, that's basically what, that's not exactly what he said, but that's kind of what he said, son.
So I basically said to Vlad, I go, hey, listen, man, I'm not trying to rape you financially. I know I'm not going to ask you for what you gave Boosie. But, you know, come on, man. I mean,
break bread.
Break bread. And he goes, well, your numbers don't generate what Boosie generate.
Right.
And so I showed him a bunch of, you know, people that quotes and on YouTube and like that and on my phone. And one person said, hey, man, I only buy Vlad subscriptions when I know he's interviewing you. Once the interview's over, I cancel the subscription. Another guy said, hey, man, Aries is a beast. Pay him what you pay him other and blah, blah. So there's a bunch of these. So he goes, so you want me to pay you more based off of what people are saying? And I said, listen, man, again, I'm just saying, be fair.
It's just a few people in the grand scheme of things. It's what the numbers say.
Are saying to you, they're buying subscriptions. People are saying to you, they only watch when I'm on. And of all the guys you had that were popular, I'm the last one standing.
Aries and his co-host will then continue to talk about how they're about to hold Vlad hostage for more money because they believe Vlad has no other options since everybody, including Boosie, has left Vlad.
That's interesting. Flacco would say it like that. I wouldn't say that they started to hold, decide they were going to hold him hostage. I think that's a big leap. I think that's a big leap, Flacco. Let's just say that. But they did start to, you know, consider new negotiating tactics, which they should have considered before sending over some comments.
Now, if you're going to talk about holding somebody hostage for more money and how you believe based on your leverage, you can squeeze them for more money, you probably don't want to say this publicly. Like, you probably just want to think this in your head and still maintain some level of friendship. But Aries Spears went the full way, even kind of throwing some digs at Vlad.
What's your take?
Yeah. It's a couple things. And you hit the ones that you needed to hit.
Yeah.
Well, what would you have wanted?
That's beside the point. He asked him to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, a couple grand more.
Yeah.
That you said, you're the last one there. So he's not going to generate numbers. And if you go, where are those numbers going to come from? Now he's going to have to do episodes with people who are doing much less.
Well, here's the funny part. So, of course, he, you know, was being really like, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I said, he kept driving that point home. You just going to you want me to give you a raise based off what people are saying? I said, listen, man, you don't have to keep telling me about what my worth is. You either want to do it or you don't. So then he texted me back a couple hours later and said, you know, we should talk. I re-looked at the numbers and we should talk. So come on, man. What are we doing here?
Aries Spears told the story essentially how it happened, but he left out a huge chunk. And the huge chunk he left out is what Vlad believes is the disrespect.
Dude just started getting greedy. He's like, yo, you paying Boosie how much?
And that's what led to Vlad essentially saying Aries Spears is banned from his platform and Aries Spears is no longer welcome on VladTV. So Vlad starts off by essentially exposing Aries Spears for A, being super rude to his employees, and then B, being a diva, right? Showing up and asking for things that other people won't necessarily ask for, especially male talent.
The Aries Spears, we started doing interviews around 2016. And I thought Aries was extremely funny. He was witty. He had great impressions. And I just thought he was a talented dude. So we started doing interviews. And in the beginning, it was a little bit slow. And over time, it started to work out. The views went up, people got to know us, and the audience started to increase. Now, the thing about Aries, though, is that Aries would always have issues with things that are going on. So at one point...
Business-wise or just culturally?
Business-wise.
Okay.
Business-wise. So a few years ago, Aries called me, and he was like, yo, man, I can't get any acting gigs because of these clips of me talking about people. Now, it's my fault he can't get acting gigs. It's not because maybe he's not a great actor or maybe he hasn't done a major movie in 30 years since Jerry Maguire. It's my fault that he's not getting acting gigs. So I said, I'm not removing anything. You know, he wanted all the clips removed. I said, I'm not going to remove anything.
What year was this?
Oh, man, maybe about 4 years ago or so. Something like that.
For real, Aries Spears ain't getting no acting gigs. I would have never thunk it. He was in, what he was in?
You know, at one point, you know, he stopped talking to me, stopped working, and at one point he came back and we started doing more work together. My staff would always complain that Aries was disrespectful to them.
Really?
He would show up.
He was disrespectful.
At one point, he forgot his towel, right? You see his towel on his leg sometimes because, you know, he sweats a lot because he's kind of overweight. And he forgot his towel, right? You see his towel on his leg sometimes because, you know, he sweats a lot because he's kind of overweight. And he forgot his towel. And he's like, yo, I need a towel. And Leo, my video manager, is like, well, here's some paper towels. Like, no, I need a cloth towel. So he made Leo go and run to the store and bring him back a cloth towel. At one point, Aries was complaining because he needed a makeup artist. I mean, literally the only person I've ever interviewed that needs a makeup artist every...
It sounds like he's sick of dealing with Aries, period. He's just sick of his everything, all his shit. He's sick of looking at this coming in here. He need makeup. He need towels. Everything all wet and sticky and brown when he leaves. Aries Spears leave, you got to wipe down the drum set. He's sweating, rags everywhere.
I mean, literally the only person I've ever interviewed that needs a makeup artist every interview.
I mean,
every interview, but I'm like,
wait, you should. He need to cover them black ass eyes up.
He needs a makeup artist every interview.
Every interview.
Oh.
Every interview. So there's a makeup artist, shout out to my girl Candace, who comes early to do his makeup. And then he does the show. And I'm like, that's fine. I'll cover the cost. It is what it is.
There's a couple of things working against Aries Spears here. First off, you're rude to the staff. They don't really enjoy working with you, but you're Vlad's choice. It's Vlad's business. They got to tolerate you. And then secondly, if you're not bringing in the amount of views that Boosie is bringing in or TK Kirkland is bringing in or other people are bringing in, yet you come with an added expense, then, you know, your request for a raise gets a little bit more difficult, right? Like if I'm paying you,
we could fire the makeup artist and give you her money,
an upfront fee, and then I'm flying in or hiring a makeup artist to come and do your makeup just for you, and you're asking for other accommodations, like, then it's like, bruh, like you've then become high maintenance. And if your views don't really dictate you becoming high maintenance, but I'm still bringing you in and paying you because you're the...
He high maintenance. Aries Spears is a bad bitch with makeup and a sweat towel. He need a lot of stuff. It's not easy being Aries Spears. You don't get to wake up and then get eyes this black. You think his eyes just naturally this black?
And, you know, I'm breaking even after all the expenses. Then you asking for a raise is like, come on. But apparently Vlad was willing to listen to Aries Spears asking for a raise. Like, Vlad was willing to listen and work, but Aries Spears and his behavior and his attitude ruined it all. Vlad really took what Aries Spears did personally, because from Vlad's perspective,
But that also sounded a little bit like a lie. He could be lying, be like, see, I was going. Don't try to hit me with that. Don't try to hit me with the what you was going to do, Vlad. I was going to help. I was going to give him a couple more dollars, but this nigga just kept leaving these sweat rags and shit all over the place.
when Aries Spears was being canceled for the Tiffany Haddish skit involving Aries Spears playing a child predator, and those skits went viral, and there was like him in his skit with the child in the underwear, him doing like weird stuff.
Right.
Aries Spears got canceled. Nobody would touch Aries Spears. Nobody would work with Aries Spears. Aries Spears was performing in hole in the wall comedy clubs with 50 people.
You don't know.
Like, Aries Spears went to ground zero, and Vlad believes that
That's not true. I mean, I don't know. He probably was doing some of that too, but I've seen him perform in some decent sized rooms, few hundred people, couple hundred people. I mean. Is that what he is? What he could do? No. Is it Kevin Hart level? No. Is he an upper echelon comedian? No. But he's definitely a working comic, and we gotta respect that.
his interviews with Aries Spears was really crucial to Aries Spears' come up in Resurgence. And Aries Spears will tell Vlad this. So Vlad believes that because he's responsible for your Resurgence, you at least owe him like a different level of respect, or more respect than you exhibited. Like as of lately, right? Or
That's what he's saying. I fed you.
Respect then to talk about holding him
What you
hostage
want?
because you believe he has no other option left. Now, Vlad will say that he was paying Aries Spears $4,000, and that Aries Spears, as we just saw in his clip, Vlad felt like Aries Spears got a spirit of jealousy, and when he contacted him to talk about the Boosie situation, Aries Spears just contacted him on some negative energy.
Out of everyone that I've ever had on my show, like in terms of regular guests, I have seen Aries benefit the most. Because he went in the beginning from doing small comedy clubs to when our stuff started going viral and it started getting, big on TikTok and so forth, things just absolutely took off for him. He got his, and he talked about this on camera, the biggest show he's ever been paid for, Saudi Arabia. Was this the most money you ever made off a single show?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, he got the makeup on. Okay. He blended in the eye blacks. That's good, man. Because them eyes, they was looking dirty. Like, he needed to scrub them. You ever see the back of a neck black? He had the under the eye black. Like, forget it.
Yeah. Was it more than twice you've ever made for a single show?
We're going to stop at the first question.
He did his biggest venue ever. He was doing clubs of maybe 100, 200 people. He did a show in Connecticut with 3,000 people. He did a show in LA at the Novo Theater that I went to support. That was 1,400 people. Aries would always, I have text messages from him. Yo, bro, he did his first Europe tour recently. He's like, yo, I'm in Europe and people are running up to me, mobbing me, quoting me from our interviews. So I think a month and a half ago, he asked to raise his appearance fee again. I looked at the numbers and I'm like, cool, let's do it. The numbers are slowly getting better. And I'm like, yo.
And this is where we left on our reaction. So I was kind of like, all right, well, it seems like they cool. Anyway, you guys check out the rest of the video. And then I come back and I see all this.
Let's do it. Makes perfect sense. And he would say things like, yo, to all y'all haters out there who, talking shit about me doing this show, I get 5 digits every time I do an interview here. I get 5 digits while y'all sit at home and do nothing.
Shoot.
I get 5 digits.
It ain't like I'm on there for free. He pays me.
Correct.
He pays me a nice 5 figures.
Yeah.
Got the eye blacks out now. This nigga look like Batman. All right, I'm sorry.
So if my choice is either stay home on a Tuesday and do nothing and earn nothing, or go sit down for an hour and a half and walk away with 5 figures where I could not make anything, what am I gonna do?
No, I agree.
I'm gonna make the money and I get to check them.
And
Maybe he don't count that good. 4,000 is not 5 figures. It don't even have the number 5 in it.
run with this story, but that was a lie.
Oh, man.
He was not getting 5 digits.
It's typical hip hop. You got to say you got a color TV when everyone got black and white, right?
Exactly. He was making 4,000 an episode.
Okay.
right? 4,000.
Still pretty good.
When y'all on
Still, yo, that's still bad. That's still bad for Vlad to be putting his business out there like that. That's kind of gross. That's kind of gross. But then again, Aries did start shooting. You know what I mean? You want to shoot? All right, now we in a gunfight. But goddamn. Yo, Vlad ain't shit, yo. Yo, Vlad is a master manipulator. He said, all you niggas in jail, man, all you niggas tell on each other. Then he just told everybody what I pay everybody. Let y'all fight it out. Let y'all fight it out. And anybody willing to come back gonna get the biggest bag. How about that, nigga? This is a rumble. It's a WrestleMania. It's a Royal Rumble of content creators and niggas. Because I don't know how Boosie joint did. I'm gonna check. We probably gonna do a review on that next. But a reaction to that next. But I suspect that at least initially, Boosie will not produce the type of numbers that Vlad has been producing. If I'm not mistaken, he put his interview on Patreon or something like that. So I'm gonna go check that out. But yeah, Vlad is woo! Your horns are showing, sir. I don't even know if you can say that. Allegedly his horns are showing.
He was making 4,000 an episode.
Okay.
Right? 4,000 in
Still pretty good.
when y'all on your own platforms, y'all love to cosplay as a Hebrew Israelite, as a Black Panther, as a militant, strong black man. But behind the scenes, y'all get the bootlicking. Oh, thank you, sir. Oh, thank you, Massa. Oh, Massa, you give me good opportunities, Massas. I was in Europe.
This is how you can tell Flacco not from here. His slave voice isn't good. If y'all, all the people that like to yell tether and all that, you can't do, oh, no. So sorry, boss. Boss, I wouldn't wonder. He had a very bad slave accent. That should be, for the FBA people, just so you know, that should be your new test. If you can't do the big eyes, oh, so gonna say that. I can't. We ain't no better than that now. If you can't do a fairly decent slave, you get put out of the FBA club. What do you think, Tariq? I want to be back friends.
Oh, bruh. Vlad ain't wrong. Yo, how you blaming Vlad for telling people, hey, man, Aries Spears went up and succeeded for being on my platform when you behind the scenes, oh, sir, thanks you, sir. You helps out me, sir. Nah.
Sounds a terrible slave.
He has every right. Now, he also allowed you to cap. He also allows you to go on different platforms to tell people you getting paid 5 figures. 5 figures is $10K or more. And you got other people like TK Kirkland and others who probably ain't getting paid $10K, who get more views than you. They probably like, huh, really? So, right? Like, so you asked for a raise a month and a half ago. He gave you the raise. Mm-hmm. And then he gave you the raise you asked for a month and a half ago. Your numbers were the same it is now a month and a half ago. And you was perfectly fine with the $4,000. Then as soon as Boosie says he getting paid $25,000, you come out and ask for another raise based on what Boosie is being paid a month later? You couldn't possibly think that was going to end well for you. If there's one person on earth, one group of people on earth you cannot under no circumstances extort, you know who that group is, and Vlad belongs to that group. So you was already putting yourself on a dummy mission.
So the $25,000 thing comes out. I'm out with my kids, right? We're doing like an escape room, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
Right? I'm out with my twins. We're doing an escape room, and I'm enjoying my time with my kids. So then I get these text messages from Aries. Yo, Boosie's getting $25,000. We need to renegotiate. And look at these comments. Look at these YouTube comments. I only watch VladTV when Aries on. Yo, Aries needs a raise. Aries is my favorite guest. He's the only one I watched. And I said, well, first of all, you just got raised up. You get
just raised you up, little nigga. Just raised you up. You just got raised up, son. You should have negotiated better. Putting on all that goddamn makeup, rubbing towels. How you get towels and makeup? They seem like they contradict one another.
Nowhere near the views of Boosie. Nowhere near the views. Like, Boosie's just a way bigger figure. Have a conversation based on YouTube comments. He's like, yo, you're not going to convince me what I'm worth. Look at these people. They say they come only for me, and you need to up my salary.
Oh, it's like a hostile takeover, huh?
And if you don't, then maybe we're done.
Oh, wow.
Maybe we're done. Maybe we're done. You don't, then maybe I talk to someone else. Maybe I go somewhere else. You know? Maybe there's other people. There's other people with talking and other people that have microphones. There are other people. I can maybe talk to them. You never know. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe quite possibly.
Playing like that.
I said, listen, I'm out with my kids, right? I don't have access to my laptop, to the numbers or whatever else. So I said, all right, I come home. So I get home and I said, yo, now I'm home. Let's have a conversation about the numbers. He said, cool, let's do it. I said, cool, what time works for you? At 5 o'clock. Bet. I change around my schedule. I clear my schedule out. And I'm like, okay, me and Aries are going to have a business conversation at 5 o'clock.
This is where Aries burnt the bridge at, and I'll be real. If you hear this, you can't blame Vlad. If you hear what Aries Spears did, nobody can blame Vlad for saying, all right, bro, F you, I'm done, I'm moving on. Mm-hmm. Right? Because like now you're playing games, right? Like now you're being like a prima donna. You hit me up for a raise a month after I already gave you a raise because of something you've seen online. If I'm real, if I'm Vlad, I'm stopping that conversation right there. I just gave you a raise a month ago, bro. You've only did one interview after your initial raise. You did one interview so far. Not happening, bro. Let's revisit this in 6 months. But Vlad says, you know what, man? Let's have a conversation. Aries Spears essentially spat in Vlad's face. What he did is the equivalent to spit.
Wow, I don't know what he did, but why would he do anything disrespectful? He getting what he wants. He said he wanted to have a talk. We want to talk about this. Vlad's obviously willing to negotiate, if this is true. But the text message makes it seem that way. Here we go.
In Vlad's face. And Vlad was still willing to make it work until the disrespect just got too flagrant.
5 o'clock rolls around, he doesn't respond. I said, all right, cool. Next morning, maybe around, 10:30, 11 o'clock, I hit him up again. I said, do you still want to have this conversation? You know what he said?
What?
Yeah, at some point. I looked at my phone and I said, I am done with this forever. Fuck Aries Spears.
He couldn't take it no
Because
more.
here's the thing, right?
But I will say this, though. I will say this. This does show that what Aries was making versus what Vlad was paying him was a big difference. Because I'm sure he would not have been willing to go as many steps as he had gone. You already said that he was difficult to work with. You already say that your staff feels as though he was difficult to work with. Yet you still gave him a raise the first time he asked for it. Right? He was like, yeah, Aries do deserve some of this money. That means Aries been a cash cow for him. If he's been paying him $4,000 and he's getting numbers that are even remotely comparable to Boosie's numbers, and Boosie was getting paid $25, he's not Boosie, but his numbers are up there. I looked at him, and he was getting 4G. So yeah, he was very profitable for Vlad. I think Vlad relied on the fact that niggas don't do math like that. He show him a bunch of numbers, mystify him. Hey, look at my back end. Come on, guys. Come on. You gotta look at my back end. When you look at my back end, there's a lot of ways.
The whole thing about Aries Spears. Because here's the thing, right? The whole thing about having your own business and reaching a certain level of success is you get to decide who you want to work with. You get to decide how you want to spend time with the type of people that are respectful.
Facts.
They can have regular business conversations with you. And not people like this who are just jealous ass pocket watchers. Because here's the thing, right? There's two types of jealous pocket watchers out there. There's the broke ones, right? And we've been there before. Yeah. But then you got motherfuckers like Aries Spears, who's doing better than he ever has, who's making more money than he's ever made in his whole career. And he's still jealous over Boosie. He's jealous of another man because he's making more money on a platform than him, even though he's making way more money ever. And it clouds his judgment so bad that he wants to crash out. And he doesn't even want to have a conversation. He thinks that these stupid ass comments justify his position. So I said, yo, I'm done. Fuck him. He's not welcome to the platform anymore. I don't give a
No more makeup?
Yeah, no more makeup.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Candace. I'm sorry.
I don't know about.
I'm sure Vlad is pretty financially sound, but the juice probably just wasn't worth the squeeze for him no more. I'm sure he liked the ratio of money he was getting versus what he was paying Aries Spears, but all of it together, I think it just wasn't worth it for him no more. He's like, look, I don't need the money, especially where I'm at. I like the money. You know what I mean? I like the money. It's real, real good, but I don't need the money.